Hello, you're welcome to Inside ABIA. And we're still talking to His Excellency, the Governor of ABIA State. Today, we'll be looking at a sector, what I think makes ABIA ABIA, which is SMEs. Everybody knows. If you know anything about ABIA, you would know that SMEs are the driver. Even the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, actually said that ABIA is the SME capital of Nigeria. I say of Africa, because I think everybody knows made in Aba, except you live on the moon. So my question to you is, in the past 6 years of your administration, SMEs.
Let me start by saying that why SME? Why did we decide to mainstream SME as a pillar? Simple reason that I stumbled into a statistics that the World Bank people came here and they saw what was happening, and people manufacturing and doing things, especially in the leather and garment subsector, and a lot of iron works, foundry, fabrication, metal works.
Really?
You can ask any country. The best sand dredgers are manufactured in Aba.
Really?
Oh yeah. So these people here are amazing. A friend of mine established an asphalt plant, and from Turkey technology, and they installed it. And after a while, one component got bad, and the guy wanted to import it, and they said $6,000 US. And you know how much that is. But it was taking time for UPS to bring the component order, so he took the damaged component to a place in Aba along Port Harcourt Road. That's why we are fixing the road now. And the guy looked at it, regarded it, looked at it over and over, and asked him to give him 1 hour. He went back and started filing metal, until finally he gave him and said, please go and try this for less than 30,000 naira.
Wow.
Lo and behold, it matched, and it's been working. And yet the one coming from Turkey, from UPS, is yet to arrive. In fact, my friend had to pay 100,000 and not that, he was. So such stories inspire me. But so I asked the critical question: if I have 250,000 people doing things, and they will naturally employ at least 4 people, that's 1 million. Can any responsible leader ignore 1 million young people when you want to create a better life for your people? That's too huge. That is why it is our pillar number 1. But then we also had to ask the critical questions about what is the problem. And they said to me, power, access to markets, automation and capacity building, and then finance. So of all these 4 limiting factors, the one I could deal with easily was to start with marketing. So all my shirts in 2015, instead of my insignia, I will write OV Ipazu Proudly Aba. I wear it boldly on my sleeves. And what I wanted to do was to speak to the psyche of those my children. So I started marketing aggressively. And in marketing aggressively, I needed to pull along these my boys. I organized that trade fair. I would have localized the fashion fair in Aba, but I needed to go to Abuja, because if you light a candle, take it to the mountaintop. So let me do this in Aba. People didn't see the reason why
you had to take it out.
Exactly.
Because you don't advertise to your own. They already know about
and
you.
And because we are not in the space, it will be difficult for me to ask the British High Commissioner to send me delegates for Aba trade fair. It will make sense. So I said, okay, let me take it to them. And of course they responded. American Embassy brought people and all of that. And it was such a huge. So when my boys who came for exhibition saw white people in the room admiring their products and speaking nicely about their products, something happened. And then I used this to strike a bargain with them. I said, you must put proudly Aba. If you like, put your name. I told them what my professor told me in food science, and said to me that there is nothing like fake wine. Do your wine, call it your name. It will only be fake if you call it, You spell
not
5
an
alive
original.
as you are spelling it FAIV, 5 alive, instead of, So don't mimic anybody. Call it your name. It's original to you. So at times, big dreams start small. So they started printing made in Aba on their products, and then we went on and on and on. So market is no longer a problem for us. Somebody had a town hall meeting with them in Lagos the day they gave me SME Governor Award. They came in their numbers, and I took them out for dinner, and I seized the opportunity and turned it a town hall meeting. I said, please tell me what your next level is. And one told me about his experience with the Gambian president, his conversation to supply boots
That's
in Gambia.
an individual.
Of course. And I remembered what I did, speaking about marketing, when I went to Gambia. They received me well and gave me an orderly and a driver who were soldiers and policemen. And because I went with Shoe Planet, he does shoes too, a designer from Aba. I asked Shoe Planet, you come with military boots? He said, okay. So I got that my police orderly and changed his boots, changed his belt.
The Gambian police.
Yes, as we were heading to see the president. So as we approached the gate, and he came out to open the door for me, the other policemen there with their bad shoes saw how nicely dressed. Even the president, I said, this orderly, when did this happen? He said, Oga from Nigeria gave me this. And, that was my way of saying,
that was good marketing.
This is what we can do. So marketing, from marketing, we attracted the attention of the agency in charge of rural electrification and set up the area independent power plant. So I targeted area. I didn't ask that the power be taken to ABIA or anywhere else. But yes, I didn't say the power should be taken to government house or Moaya or the government lodge in Aba. But take it to area so that it can support our people in their activities. So we have also closed the deal on geometrics. So EEDC geometrics and the independent power.
So how many of these are working now?
The independent power in our area is working. Of course, we make do with EEDC when we see it. And I am sure that within now and the next 6 months, we'll be able to know exactly the time frame within which geometrics will come on stream, because the turbines are in place and the financial closure is in place now. So I am pretty sure that before the end of my tenure, God helping me, I would have achieved 3 options with the support of other people. The next option would have been a gas turbine.
But you did say that was expensive.
That's expensive, and I'm still looking for private sector collaborators. This is not something that the state government can get into now. But the idea, the vision, the template is in place. And because of envisaged activity within this Aba ecosystem, I think that we will get very soon a vendor that will be willing to take our gas and give us electricity. So that's marketing and power. Finance. We had to arrange these garments and shoe people into cooperatives and clusters so that they can be able to access loan from Bank of Industry or whatever. And the loan can be in any form. For instance, I have told Bank of Industry to pay to Kano Leather Tannery so that they give me leather.
So it doesn't even have to come to the trader himself. It's raw material.
Exactly. But to make sure we seize our destiny in our hands also, we had to establish the ABIA SME Bank. And the focus of ABIA SME Bank is petty traders.
How affordable in terms of interest rates is it?
No, if we see money at single digit from, say, Bank of Industry or any bank that is interested to, we will now have a funnel through which we can give it to people. If, for instance, the state government wants to support, rather than going to the market and give people money, we can push it through our SME bank. As I speak, there's going to be a launch about a product which is an interest-free loan for SMEs. And that is anchored by our ABIA SME Bank. So we are working hard on financing. I mean, it can never be enough. But we have created a template through which our people can have hope and say that we have a place we can run to and tell our story. And ABIA SME Bank is not only focused on providing money. There are other services that they need to provide. How are these SMEs going to keep their books? How are they going to write bankable proposals? How are they going to... So we have a team that is focused on the...
Capacity building for them?
Oh, no, we call it startups.
Okay.
And we have a commissioner for SME.
And you have a commissioner for SME?
Oh, yes. We have to mainstream SME, you know. And the mandate of the commissioner is not about telling me the things I know. Tell me how many startups, not how many startups you have encouraged. I want to hear statistics like, oh, we had 200 startups last year. We have 350 this year. And I have served even in the committee that listen to, you know, they come and deliver a pitch, beat in vernacular. Tell me what you want to do. You know, so because we have resources and data, we can advise properly. So the idea is to handhold my SMEs and walk them through until such a time they can begin to survive. And another thing I want to mention about SME is the fact that we are losing it in terms of our apprenticeship scheme.
Which is something
yes, that's exactly. Back to the limiting factors. We have dealt with finance and we're dealing with it. We have dealt with marketing and we're also dealing with it. We needed to speak to how long does it take to produce a pair of shoes? If I have an order for 10,000 pairs, how am I going to cope with my little son and wife using bare hands and scissors to cut leather? At times, you see the impact of that leather on our fingers completely deformed because we've been cutting without gloves and tools. And we had to warm the leather on a hurricane stove. So because as the chief marketer here, I could not speak to how long it will take. I couldn't even speak to the consistency of the final product. You know, you could have a pair of shoes, one is 33 and a half, the other one is 33. You know, I said, no. We have to automate. Otherwise, we won't be able to compete. And in order for us to automate, I have to talk about capacity. Because you bring machines and you don't find people who can deal with it. That led me to sending 30 boys and girls to China. You know, and we said to them, you must learn how to use these machines. And I tell this story everywhere I go to, and I tell the story proudly, that 2 of my boys took away jobs from the Chinese people, in their factory within 2 weeks. So here again, I was inspired. I said, the greatest gift God has given to me in ABIA is the people. Such amazing gifts. You know, so I said, I'm going to now bring down these machines here. So immediately they came back to Nigeria. We brought the machines and we started putting the factory together. And that is what gave birth to a NASCO.
Is it functional now?
Of course. The senior president just commissioned it. A NASCO did shoes for railways, is doing for the military, civil defense, and we are prospecting the Nigerian police now. I think they will also give us. And we have recently launched our back-to-school shoes, which is called Eze Goes to School. You know,
that is so nice.
Oh, yes.
We all grew up with Eze Goes to School, didn't we?
You know, so that is a NASCO. And I must say, whether it was a joke or just a passing, during COVID-19, when the major manufacturing platform of the world, China, collapsed, Walmart became empty. We got inquiries from big departmental stores in America asking if, because their Chinese contact told them that they had sold a shoe line to Aba. They were asking if they could manufacture in Aba and send to America. It hasn't happened yet, but it will happen.
Great. That is fantastic news.
You know, but then when you begin to do this, you expand your thinking and thoughts. So in the leather subsector, we are trying to create an ecosystem. As I speak, we have Nigeria Brazil Shoe Company, and
here in Aba.
Aba, they have set up structures. We're waiting for them to bring equipment. In fact, the Brazilians, when they came and they had to go employ somebody who studied Spanish to help them get a deal, off-take deal from the shoe sellers in Alaba, who used to go to Brazil to import shoes, to buy them from Aba here. And then God blessed us with another young entrepreneur called, he goes by the name Footwear Academy. I'm a student of Footwear Academy. Of course, you must have learned that I enrolled to learn how to do shoes. I forgot to show you the first pair of shoes that I manufactured yesterday in my office in Aba. And why did I go to learn how to do shoes? I'm a teacher, oh yes, but I need skill. I need to be able to do things with my hand. My grandfather was a blacksmith, which means he was a very creative man. So
you know how to make shoes right now?
Oh yeah, sure. So the day I enrolled, 2 days after the day I enrolled, 2,000 people indicated to enroll in Footwear Academy.
So you were a good marketer for the brand.
One of our, of course, they won the MSME award or something in the presidency last year. One of those who graduated from Footwear Academy today has a job in United Arab Emirates doing shoes, medical insurance, everything paid. So we now export skilled labor in shoes. So we are creating an ecosystem. And we are tying up what Footwear Academy is doing with what our polytechnic...
So Footwear Academy teaches young people or teaches people how to make shoes.
So shoemaking has left artisanal, demeaning shoemaker. Exactly. We have become professionals. I am a shoemaker. We have become professionals. And we go abroad. As they come to prospect medical doctors, they come to Aba to ask for shoemakers. Really? Oh yeah, sure. So we are creating an ecosystem. And this is the same thing we are also trying to do in garments. As I speak, we have imported end-to-end. That is a 196-piece machine for garments. We are going to create a Bangladesh here that will employ 500 women or people on the first day. So what I need to tie up my story is just that garment factory. And I know that before the end of the first quarter, I will ask you to come around and see what we are
How far has it gone?
We just imported the machines there. They've set sail now on the sea. Very soon they will come. They're doing the building. So gradually.
So what it means is that you've actually taken it up from SMEs into industrial parks.
Oh yeah, because if we don't automate and provide machines and provide options for world-class finishing, they will remain where they are, and everybody will overtake.
Are they embracing it though?
Oh yeah. They don't have any option because they still get orders from their people from Cameroon, from Togo, from everywhere, coming to Aba to buy 2,000 pairs and all of that. So now, instead of suffering yourself with scissors, you and your wife and children, you take your pattern to NASCO and say, and then NASCO will write your name, OVI Shoes Limited.
Oh, that's what it is.
Exactly.
So it's like there's a
common
franchise
facility.
You can bring your own design, your pattern, and then your name will
As
be
a
put
matter
on
of fact, NASCO is owned by Lepmas shoemakers. It is their factory. They were the people I took. And they have opportunity to buy shares and become part of it.
What is your dream for ABIA, Aba in particular, when it concerns SMEs? What would you like to do in the remaining 2 years? What footprint do you want to leave?
I will remain on this track. What I have tried to do in the leather subsector, I will do for garment subsector. We will move from artisanal tailoring to a place where we will exploit the entire value chain. People will, I like to call them cloth architects. They design the cloths on the computer. They don't need to be tailors. They design the cloth and they predict what is going to happen in December, what is going to happen, what is going to be on stage.
So they make great trends.
Exactly. And then all the kind of wares, evening, dinner, party, and disco, whatever you want to do. And then the regular hardware, and then industrial wares. So all of this. And then I create an ecosystem where 15, 20, 30,000 women, especially women, boys and girls, will be busy doing 3 or 4 shifts. And Versace will come with his pattern.
Wow.
Stay in a hotel in Aba, give us his pattern to roll out what he wants to sell to the world.
Amen to that.
Amen.
And it will happen.
It will happen.
I know it will.
It will, certainly. It will.
A quick one before we round up. What is the capacity right now of production? What comes out of... I was talking to somebody and they were telling me that on the average they get about over 1,000 containers coming in and going out and all of that. How high do you want to see it go?
Yes. Today, Aba exports about 2 million pairs of shoes.
Wow. Exports?
Exports.
Not local consumption?
Not local consumption. Exports. Our shoes are more popular. In fact, at times, when we go to Togo or Cameroon, we buy our own Aba product. I've gone to Galleria in Texas, and I looked at one shirt. That Versace shirt was manufactured in Aba. I looked at, because the fabric and everything, and then I called the Yoruba guy who was selling. He told me the truth. He said that they get this from Nigeria, in Galleria.
Wow.
You know, I forgot to tell you about quality control. We have an ABIA marketing and quality control agency. The duty is to
make sure that you can meet international standards.
Exactly. And that is, you remember, the reason why we've had problems exporting. And we are preparing to participate in the free trade agreement in Africa. So we established that quality control commission, and the idea is to have that agency make sure they regulate. And there is no harm in our saying, we have our grade A, we have our grade B, we have our grade C.
Yeah, I mean, China does.
Exactly.
So even in Bangladesh and all those countries, depending on who you're
so if you want our
for.
high end, you will see our high end and you pay for it, you know. And then we are looking for a situation where tomorrow we can proudly in Nigeria, but I have to make a plea. This is a country of about 200 million people. If we sell to ourselves, we wouldn't. Exactly. Since I became governor, I have not indulged in, with due respect, I don't eat basmati. I don't eat. If it's not made in Abia rice, I will not eat it. I mean, local rice. It could be Abakaliki, it could be Yobe, it could be Kebi, whatever. But it has to be Nigerian rice. And I'm not sick. Why should I patronize?
So we need to change our psyche, our mentality towards
we
things.
need to turn these 200 million burdens into 200 million machines to produce and manufacture things for the rest of the world and consume the things we produce. So why are we shying away from patronizing the things we produce?
Which is what led you to the made in Aba.
Exactly. You know, so that is what my dream is. I want to see Nigerians.
We're looking. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, our music has gone out now. In the entertainment industry, people are beginning to respect and collaborate. So there's a need to encourage and provide an enabling environment.
Especially in the areas we have competence.
Yes.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel. In the areas we have competence. You see, the beauty of the geometric experiment is not because it's going to, Aba is going to be the first part of Nigeria with uninterrupted power. No. It is a promise it holds. And what is that promise? The promise that it can be replicated in other places. So why don't we all, as a country, make it work? So that we can now replicate. But can we speak to ourselves and then address the issues that is our problem?
I think this is a good place to end this. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us about the SME. And my prayer is that everything you have said, because it's doable.
Yes.
It is very doable. We are the ones stopping ourselves. And it's good to see that you have this vision. I look forward to a time when like you, would all be wearing made in Aba.
Yes.
You know, it will be a thing of joy and of pride. So thank you very much for speaking to us. So thank you very much. So on this note, I'd like to thank you guys for watching today. And until next week, when we come again talking about some other aspects of ABIA with His Excellency, say bye-bye and see you next week.